great experience on the web. So every November, within the Chrome team and within Google, we do a lot of planning, thinking about the next year, to try and determine what we're going to do to really make the web a great experience for everyone in 2013. And this year I was extremely excited for two reasons. Firstly, seeing how far the web has come and what we can do now on the web that we could not do before, but also seeing what 2013 is going to bring. I've never in my career seen a time when web developers have such a big opportunity to create amazing apps that were once only possible on native clients. So today we're going to talk about three exciting things. One, the pace of innovation. The pace of innovation has been incredibly fast. But more importantly, it's available to users more quickly than ever before. Two, I want to talk about how our industry is coming together as a community to fill the gaps in the web platform and to allow us to do more with the web platform than ever before. And three, after much stagnation, the mobile web browser is much more powerful today than it has ever been before, and it's becoming a first-class application on mobile clients. So in the next hour or so, I want to jump into these trends and highlight some of the work that Google and others are doing to help move the web forward. So over the last few years, we've witnessed the release of a powerful set of APIs to the web that didn't exist before. Things like geolocation, web storage, local storage, and web workers, and others. This provides web developers massive firepower now to go and create applications that truly compete with native applications. If you look at this infograph, you can see the pace of innovation across browsers. You can see when different browsers started supporting various technologies. This is fantastic to see and great for the web. It's really impressive. What's even more impressive, however, is how fast users have this technology on their applications, on their devices, on their PCs. Almost 60% of browsers now are Evergreen browsers. And Evergreen browsers are browsers that automatically update their users with the latest technology without the users having to do anything. As you may know, Chrome auto-updates every 6 weeks, as does Firefox, and Opera updates very frequently also. This has reduced barriers to innovation for web developers and created an addressable audience that's more than 500 million users. I'm personally very excited about three areas because it's the areas I work in, specifically web media, better graphics, and capabilities that allow us to do things with the web that was traditionally thought only could be done with native applications. In terms of media, historically we've needed plugins to do everything. And we probably all know the history of plugins. Some are good, some aren't so good, some don't work so well together. So today it's really great that we can do all of this in HTML and JavaScript without the need for plugins. Let's talk first about WebRTC. So you've all been hearing a lot about WebRTC. I, like Phil, believe WebRTC has the potential to really change the internet. And when you think that with just a few JavaScript APIs and as little as 15 lines of JavaScript code in a HTML page, you can create a simple one-to-one video conferencing solution. This has the potential to be as important to the web as HTML was in the beginning. What's really cool about this is the technology is available immediately. You can use it today, and not just in Chrome. It's functional in Firefox builds also, and Opera are working on it as well. So with that, I'd like to invite one of our lead engineers from Chrome working on WebRTC, who's really heading up this effort within Google, Justin Uberti, to come up and give us some demos of what we can do today within Chrome.
Thanks, Hugh. So appreciate you coming down for doing this keynote. But what do you think about next time you give your keynote presentation over WebRTC?
I'm up for it. Let's do it.
Well, let's give this a try.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to my friend Erica Skorla, one of the main engineers at Firefox, Your password. One of the main engineers of Firefox.
Oops.
Around innovation in the web at Google.
It is.
All right, can we switch to the demo? Do we need to do anything to switch to this machine here?
The other one.
B.
I guess my WebRTC demo next year might have some delays in it.
All right. Hey, Eric. Thanks for joining us all the way from Palo Alto. It's great to be able to have you here.
He's not here yet.
No. Well, WebRTC solves a number of problems. Still dealing with the 20th century wires problem.
Maybe we can get,
Yeah.
Maybe we can skip it.
What?
Oh, hold on. I think we're seeing something on screen here. Eric, come in, Eric.
There we go. I think we had a bad connection here at the podium. Physical issue. All right, let's get back to Eric. Okay, let's try this one last time. Eric, you're live here at WebRTC World. He's so excited. I can just tell. The enthusiasm is unmatched.
Yes. Maybe that's it.
Well, you can see the potential. Let's try next time.
Yes.
We'll have an amazing keynote presentation delivered over WebRTC.
All right, thanks, Justin. So folks, that has worked before. But I'm delighted to say that a lot of browser vendors are adding a lot of new capabilities to WebRTC to make it accessible on even more platforms. And Google is no exception. Stay tuned next year to find WebRTC available on many more Google platforms. Okay, so I want to talk about audio for a moment. So audio traditionally has not been treated well on the web. The Web Audio API is one of the most exciting new features that has been added to HTML5 in recent times. Some have wondered, well, why do we need the Web Audio API if we've already got the audio tag? Well, the audio tag is for some specific use cases. The Web Audio API allows us to analyze audio, create unique sounds, and amazing effects. Things like spatial audio and virtual room acoustics are possible with the Web Audio API that were not possible with the audio tag. This is going to make a big difference to complicated web applications such as games or really unique WebRTC applications that will be built. One feature that's very interesting to me is the sample accurate timing feature, because it allows the creation of very unique applications such as drum machines that were not able to be created with previous technology. Okay, so let's take this first if we can. We'll try the second demo and we'll see if it works. Here's hoping. I'd like to invite Alberto Martin up to the stage. Alberto is a technical program manager at Google working in Chrome Media. And I'd like him to demo for you a new website that we've created to demonstrate what the Web Audio API can do. It's called Jam with Chrome. Fingers crossed, Alberto.
Thanks. Thanks, Hugh. Let's see if we can get to this page. Oh, the other one. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen. I don't know if you guys have seen jamming with Chrome. It uses all the goodness of HTML5. It uses WebSockets. It uses CSS3, and it also uses the WebAudio API. Within this one, what I'm going to do is jump into the demo. I'm going to pick the drums as an instrument. You put over here your name. We'll see. And then I like to click actually on the Pro. That way I can click on the keys. And you can see the fidelity of the keystrokes.
Hey, it works.
I'm pressing the K, I'm pressing W, Y. But what I'm going to do now is actually to challenge a little bit more. This application allows you to invite friends. So I'm going to invite my friend Ray. And let's see how this works. So as soon as he joins this, he probably will pick another instrument, and then we can start jamming together. Ray, are you joining? By the way, if you want to use, any of the WebAudio API is also great. For example, to do things like imagine in WebRTC, right? Imagine mixing. You're going to have so many streams. You're going to have the audio coming from WebRTC, and then you're going to have WebAudio APIs, which is all these sounds. This is something that if you try to do with the audio tag, you cannot do. The audio tag is really well done for streaming, but once you start having many audio tags, then the browser starts acting a little funny, and it takes more than 20 milliseconds per audio tag.
I guess we're having lots of technical issues in this room.
Oh, Ray's over here now.
Oh, he's there?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh. So now you see I'm not touching anything. That's his beat. And then, of course, I'm not actually such a good drummer, so I'm glad that we didn't integrate WebRTC with this. But you can imagine with 100, 200 lines of code, you can integrate this demo with WebRTC and playing with up to 4 friends. Thanks.
Thanks, Alberto. So folks, yay, one worked. So folks, what's really impressive about this is that there's very, very low latency when using the WebAudio API, and you can see that in that demo. Imagine what could be done with WebRTC and the WebAudio API. Imagine spatial audio, virtual room acoustics, etc. Well, we already have some of this working in Chrome. We've hooked up the WebRTC audio input to the WebAudio API processing, and it's behind a flag in Chrome, and you can go there today and play with this. In terms of reduced latency, there's something really useful to try and give an example of how performant this is. You can apply these effects in real time. So let's say on a WebRTC call, you could add a guitar effect with as little as 5 milliseconds of latency. That's like having a speaker just 5 feet away from you. And you can do all this and play it out in real time. That's impressive. Okay, so we've talked about real-time video and audio as part of web media. But there's a whole other very important area. Web video and on-demand video is something I'd like to talk about for a little. We've talked to content suppliers and content producers at length over the last number of years to find out how we can utilize the web better for this type of content. They've consistently said the same thing. We're really tired of having to build application after application for operating system after operating system, for device after device. It's costing us a fortune to build it, update it, and maintain it. And we need a way where we can ideally build one application that works everywhere. The web seems to be a great platform for that. Content providers have also flagged to us that there are really 3 things they want us to focus on. The first thing is full screen. They want a great full screen experience where the user is not interrupted from watching a movie. They also want us to focus on adaptive streaming. So adaptive streaming, for those who aren't aware, is where the video playback will change its quality and bit rate based on the available bandwidth at any moment in time, so that you don't have all this rebuffering all the time. and your content playback isn't interrupted. They've asked us to look at that. They've also asked us to focus on content protection from piracy. It's a difficult topic, but it's one that they're insistent upon because the producers of this content really want to maintain a hold on that. So full screen is easy. We did that in Chrome 15. It's available in Firefox. It's available in Opera also. Adaptive streaming. So the community has come together to make a lot of progress on this. My colleagues in Chrome have created some APIs that they're calling the media source extensions that allow you to do JavaScript-based and HTML-based adaptive streaming right from within your web app. It effectively chops up various streams of content into chunks and puts it back together in the web application based on the bandwidth available, so that you still see the content and hear the content, but you may get slightly different quality levels based on the bandwidth available at any point in time. And really, you can't visually see the changes at all. It works quite well. So this is already in Chrome 23, and I'm really happy to say that the community, so Microsoft and Netflix and Google, joined as co-authors of the spec that we've proposed to the W3C on adaptive streaming. Media supports any adaptive format, but Google's preferred format will be Dash. So we've left the toughest area of innovation to last, and this is the area of content protection. It's certainly a hot topic in this area. Again, working with Microsoft and Netflix, we've created a set of APIs and a spec that we've submitted to the W3C that we're calling encrypted media extensions. Now, encrypted media extensions is not just about DRM. I want to be clear about that. Encrypted media extensions can also be used for things like privacy. But the spec does support creating more secure solutions using what's called CDMs, or content decryption modules, that will ship in the various browsers. We've worked hard with our Widevine team to create a CDM for Chrome that will enable premium content playback within Chrome. And we know that the other browser manufacturers are looking at this also. What's really important about this CDM, people think of a really big, heavyweight piece of code. We've tried to keep it as light as possible. All this CDM does is license request, license retrieval, license updating. It does software decrypting and software decoding of content. That's it. The rest is left to the web app developer to script the web app the way they want so that it's consistent across all the devices they want to roll it out to. That's important for us. This allows developers really to own the whole experience. So at this point, I'd like to ask Alberta Martin to come back up. Hopefully demo number 3 will work, to give us a demo of some of this functionality that we're talking about here. Here's hoping.
And over here at the bottom where you can see it's actually adaptive streaming working. So I'm already playing at 750 kilobits, as you can see over here. And it's been loading the files as we go. If there was more bandwidth available in the audience, I might be able to get more. But what happens is it keeps changing these rates, even though, for example, now it's preloading the 750 kilobits, and it will continue going up.
Yeah, let me just jump in there. What's really cool about this is it starts at 256, it assumes minimum bandwidth, and then it starts upping the quality as it finds more available bandwidth. And it'll step down as well.
Right.
So we're now up to 2K, is it?
Yeah, 2 megs. Yeah,
2 megs.
Now you can actually see, and the quality, you can actually see through the projector, it will be increasing. From a user point of view, I don't know how many times I go to YouTube and I have to keep hitting, changing the resolution because I want to go to HD, then I have to lower to 720. All of this will be done automatically by the browser. And also this saves a lot of bandwidth if you're a provider. Now what I'm going to try is actually even harder than this demo. So hopefully we'll work together.
Let me just say about this next demo. We were unsure whether to try this today. We've literally just got this working in Chrome in the last 24 hours or so. So give it a go. Here's hoping.
So can we switch to the other computer? And I'm going to switch the audio. All right, let's see.
So what Alberto is going to show here is actually premium content playback with the more secure use of a content decryption module within Chrome.
So I'm here in YouTube. This is the main page actually of YouTube. And if I can type, that's even better. Oh, man. Why it's not working? Huh. Good. Let's try again. One more time. Going to the main page of YouTube, and then in YouTube, I'm going to look for the movie Hunger Games. Oh, man. Well, anyway, we found it. I'm glad we are a good search engine company. And then over here, what it's going to do is it's going to start using WebM. It's going to do the same thing that it was doing on the other demo, but this is actually without Flash. So you can see that there's no Flash plugin. It will revert right now to HTML5. You can see this HTML5, and the movie is now loading.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Maybe it doesn't work. It's now trying to do the same thing as we was doing before with the different chunks of the file. Oh, and here you go. That's the movie actually using HTML5 encrypted media built into Chrome. And by the way, this is on a Chromebook, which is a low-power machine, the new one.
I guess it's not refreshing for some reason.
Oh.
Anyway, guys, you get the idea. We're trying to get to a point where this is a really credible solution using HTML5 and JavaScript to do premium content playback. And that meets the needs of so many content suppliers and hopefully reduces their costs for implementation. But what if your website isn't based on RTC, it isn't based on video, and it doesn't really need a huge amount of audio complexity? What then? Well, there's a lot of new media technologies coming out, especially in the graphics area, that are looking very promising. They're not all there yet, but they're on their way. Their aim is to complement CSS3 and WebGL. And two examples that are very interesting are CSS custom filters and web animations. We're working with our friends at Adobe to bring a subset of what's available in WebGL and make it accessible through CSS. This is available in Chrome now behind the flag, and we'd love you to give it a try. The second area is web animations. And so traditionally, Flash has been used for web animations. But today, you can script animations along a timeline, similar to how you've done in Flash in the past. And Flash developers can do much of the same in HTML, using many of the same features and concepts from Flash or SVG. This is also available to be hardware accelerated, which is really important, especially for mobile applications in terms of battery consumption, et cetera. So the third part that really matters is low-level API functionality that honestly only native apps up to now have been able to do. So how can we expose that in the web? So because it's not just graphics and media that are going to make a great experience, there's now access to powerful lower-level set of APIs through the web today. One really good example to take a look at is Chrome's packaged apps, or Apps v2. You can build these applications that run outside the browser and do offline by default. There's still HTML and JavaScript. They can interact with the network, hardware and devices, media tools, and more. And there are APIs today to support USB and serial access. There's an idle state API that allows you to tell when the user has gone idle on the machine. And Bluetooth support is coming. I could think of a lot of scenarios. When I think of WebRTC, I think of web applications, such as robotics, various different RTC applications, gaming, or even medical device applications that could take advantage of this technology. Developers can experiment with this today in Chrome. It's not available for all users yet, but it soon will be. Also, if you have a Chromebook, many of these packaged applications are starting to bubble up in Chromebooks very quickly. So you can try it out there also. What I'm really excited about, especially about these lower level APIs, is that the larger community is working really hard to standardize these and bring them to the W3C. And Google is participating heavily in that. All right, so the next section and the next trend we want to talk about is how the community is coming together. What I'm finding on the web, which is not necessarily found on other platforms, is that browser vendors and web developers really want to plug the gaps that exist in the web platform to truly make it that ubiquitous platform that can be used across all browsers and by all web users. It still allows them room to innovate, and it ensures consistent and coherent experience for users at the end of the day. And this is good for the web. So how are they doing that? Well, let's start with speed. As long as I can remember, faster on the web is always better. The Google V8 JavaScript engine and good benchmarks such as Octane have helped keep us focused on this goal. And we're seeing our own improvements translating to other browser vendors who are scrambling to also keep speed at the forefront of their minds. This is also great for the web. But it's not just about JavaScript performance. Other optimizations through benchmarks such as RoboHornet are generating attention for other parts of the browser to improve performance there. Projects such as Speedy to improve fundamental internet protocols in the browser are also really important here. So I'm delighted to see this progressing. In terms of speed, and the community has done a lot of work there, it's not just about speed. Creating web applications has been difficult for other reasons. Documentation has been all over the place, at different levels of quality, difficult to access, difficult to understand, and it often takes developers longer to figure out the documentation than it does to write the code. I'm delighted to say that Google and others have launched an initiative called Web Platform Docs, which is aimed to be the core repository for developer documentation on the internet. It's a community-driven wiki, and all developers everywhere should really go and contribute to this and refine this documentation as a central source. So we have speed, we have documentation, but what else can we do to make web development really easy as it's become for native applications? An effort to keep an eye on over the coming 12 months is web components. Web components allow you to create things like widgets that are reusable, and you can have confidence that you can insert them in your pages and they won't mess with your CSS and styling, etc. To complement web components this year, Google has launched a website called Yeoman. And this has a set of open tools, libraries, and workflows that you can reuse to learn how to use web components and build great web components easily. You should go try it out. Okay, so we've left the most important area to last. No surprise, it's mobile. So the mobile web is going to be a tsunami that's going to change everything in our industry. If you believe the web can be this ubiquitous platform, the mobile web has the potential to really shift things in a big way. Its time has finally come, and it's now a first-class application and first-class experience on mobile devices, where before it was not. The growth of the mobile web has been very significant. Internet usage is set to overtake desktop, and improve mobile networks, reliability, speed, and better and more powerful handsets are coming out every year. This is really going to excel this pace even further. Also, until recently, mobile browsers were clunky at best, and they were second-class citizen devices. It's now much easier and more frequent, and people spend longer on mobile browsers than they have done in the past because they're better. And they provide a better use case than they did before. So Google has shipped Chrome for Android and iOS to bring the same browsing experience that you were used to on the desktop to all of the mobile platforms out there. And if you want to see how far we've come, take a look at some mobile web-specific applications. Good examples are the Financial Times HTML5 mobile site, or even a unique Bobby Womack's new music video on bravestman.com, which is an app customized purely for the mobile web. It doesn't even work on the desktop. While technologies like WebRTC and WebGL will come to mobile devices next year. And that's going to be very exciting and create some incredible use cases. We're going to see some very significant momentum. I know a lot of you have old devices hanging around, old tablets and phones. Think of how these could be used in the future to bring all of these experiences together. However, as great as all these advancements are, and I think they're going to be really impressive, especially in 2013, it's not very good if we can't make any money from it. I've heard developers need to eat. So, 88% of desktop and 97% of mobile web shoppers abandon their carts before completion. That's a terrible statistic. We all know why. The sites either aren't optimized for mobile and they're too slow. They take too long to load because the browsers haven't been great. And because you're trying to fill in all these form fields that is pretty easy with a full QWERTY keyboard, it's quite painful with a mobile keyboard, and you generally end up making more mistakes than anything else and have to go back and do it again. People go, I'm out. And that's what's been happening up to now. In some cases, it took as many as 25 steps to complete a purchase, which is why the numbers are the way they are. I'm delighted to say, however, that the payment industry has been innovating a lot in the last couple of years. The Google Wallet team is no exception. The Google Wallet team has expanded into many more countries and currencies, and they've doubled their number of users in the last year and continue to grow. They're focused purely on simplifying the checkout experience on the internet, and have recently launched a mobile commerce solution for the web. So you can do this in the mobile web now. Now, typically, it takes as little as 2 clicks to complete a transaction, compared to 25. And that is just great for the web and for the mobile web. It allows us a fast and reliable checkout experience. And we need to see a lot more innovation like this across the internet. And there is great opportunity there. So we've really reviewed three exciting trends on the web. Web innovation is accelerating on all platforms. And again, more importantly, it's out to users almost immediately. The technology is available, so you've got hundreds of millions of users available to you immediately. The community is really working together on the web platform in ways they're not on other platforms, and that's important to recognize and participate in. Fundamentally, regardless of all the competition out there, we all believe the web platform is a way to unite the experience for users, and we definitely see a shift going in that direction. And the mobile web is finally here. First-class browsers, first-class experience, and shopping and everything else like that is a really comfortable experience now on the web. I hope these trends get you as excited as I am for what the web can be in 2013 and beyond. And I'd like to thank you for listening to me today and allowing me to come here.